The Afterparty Path is live. I keep having trouble. I'm calling it After Path Party all the time. I don't know about you, but that's what's happening. Anyway, the event is live, and it's a complicated one, a little bit of a tricky one. So I'm going to walk you through the math. I've done the math for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. I'm going to give you the breakdown of how to approach it from an energy perspective or from a shard perspective, or both. So if you're interested in pursuing the Lord Fabian souls, you're going to want to watch this video. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. Afterpath Party. I don't know why. Let's get started. Let's start by going over the basics of this hero's path. If you click on the eye that's hiding behind my head, you can get a breakdown of where you can get your points. Now, this is a champion training and summon rush dual event. Basically, you've got those two events going on inside of this hero's path. As you can see, it is a champion training event, not a tournament. You don't get points for ascensions. You don't get points for skill tomes. You only get points for leveling and for promoting your champions. And there are the points. Now, as far as the shards are concerned, again, it's only a summon rush, not a champion chase. So you have to pull the shards. Most people do this with the sacred shards. Sacred shards are generally the best bang for your buck here. Primal shards aren't bad, actually, but I save my primal shards for 2x events only, especially as a free-to-play player. But, you know, there's a pretty good return there. I would definitely not spend void shards here. Ancients, you could spend. Mysteries, you could spend if you need the points and you do the math and you figure, oh, this is a way to get it done. But again, not great value here for either, but it is what it is. If you need the points, you need the points. So we're basically going to be talking about sacred shards for this event as the primary shard, and you can do all of the conversions on your own if you're going to be using other shards. But so champion training and summon rush. Okay, now as far as the actual path is concerned, the nice thing here is we have vertical symmetry, right? So the outside paths are equal, the middle paths are equal, and then the center path is obviously equal to itself, but on either side, because it kind of breaks down. So you can see there's like 5 paths, right? Now, you can get distracted. There are a couple of outlier rewards here, like this avatar frame. It's pretty cool, but I'm going to go for basically just heading straight down to getting the soul. So we have a 3-star soul all the way at the bottom, and you have to get that first, because if you get a 4-star split soul, you can't apply that without a 3-star soul already on your champion. Now, I will say this. If you have collected your Fabian early, maybe, and in the shop, let's say, or from the soul stones that you pulled recently, you got a 1 or 2 or 3-star Fabian soul, then maybe you want to skip going for the 3-star soul, and you just want to pick up the 4-star and 5-star split souls. You could do that, save yourselves around 23,000 points, and that might make it easier for you to actually get the 5-star soul. But that's a risk, especially if you only have like a 1-star soul on your Fabian. You've got to wait for a 2 and a 3-star soul to come out before you're going to be able to apply these 4 and 5-star split souls. So just consider that. For some of you, it may be an option, but for most of us, for me, on both of my accounts, I have to go for the 3-star soul. So we're going to come all the way down. It doesn't matter which path we choose, the left side or the right side. They're exactly equivalent. Just don't get distracted and pick up extra stuff, and you can come down here and get this soul. Once you do that, though, you need to start picking up extra keys in order to get to the 4-star soul that's in the middle, and then 2 more keys to get the 5-star soul. So you'll need all 4 keys to get the 5-star soul. Remember that you don't want to go past the keys except the first time when you're getting the 3-star soul. You always want to stop at the key, or else you're going to be wasting extra points. Now, you can do that once you've got your 5-star soul in hand, and you're like, hey, I've got, 5,000 extra points. Oh, I'm going to pick up that 750 energy. Great. But you need all 4 keys, and you don't want to be wasting extra points. So you really only need to go through 1 key to get that 3-star soul. And then you just go to the keys, pick up the next one, go to the keys, pick up the next one. The inside path is cheaper than the outside path by just a little bit. Not a lot, but you probably want to go inside path for the first 2 keys, then outside path for the next 2 keys. Just be aware that the difference is like 500 points, I think. It's not really a big deal, but for some of us, 500 points might be coming down to the wire. I've had that happen before myself. Okay, now I've put together a graphic to kind of go over the math here. Again, I've done all of the calculations for you, but hopefully this will give you an idea of which soul is within your reach and maybe how many shards you have to pull in order to get there. Here's my graphic, and as you can see in the middle, I've got this note. One energy is about 4.5 points. It's not exact. Everybody's going to be different. But in terms of champion training, there's a widely accepted method of champion training where you do some champion training in campaign, usually 12-3 brutal, and then you do some in the tavern with brews, and you may put brews on your chickens and all of that stuff. So if you do a system like that, you're probably coming in somewhere around 4.5 points in the hero's path per energy you spend. Now, that can change. You can spend a lot more brews, and therefore you don't have to spend as much energy, so be aware of that. If you have a lot of chickens, that could change the way, like actual chickens, not champion chickens, but actual chickens, you know, the kinds of chickens. That could change the amount of energy that you have to spend. So be aware of all of that. But if you're doing the majority of this through champion training with just a little bit of the brew trick in order to get some extra points, you're going to land somewhere around 4.5 points. I'm consistently landing somewhere between 4.6 and about 5.2. So you can get more efficient. You can also get less efficient with the brews. If you're more generous with your brews, you're going to get more points. Be aware that the more points you get per energy, the less value your sacred shards have. One of the reasons I picked 4.5 points is because that makes it really easy to convert from energy to sacreds. Sacreds are 4,500 points. So if you have 4.5 points per energy, then one sacred is worth 1,000 points. Now, if you're getting 5 points per energy, that would actually drop your sacred value to 900 energy per sacred. So you'd be saving less energy per sacred shard. The points still work out the same way on the board. You know, a sacred is 4,500 points no matter what. But just be aware that when you're trying to figure out how much energy versus how many shards you're going to spend, that, you know, if you're more efficient on energy, then you're going to be less efficient on shards. That's just the way it works. If that is starting to throw you off, don't worry. You don't really have to worry about that. The big thing to remember that is a sacred shard saves you about 1,000 energy. That's it. That's it. That's the simple thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the 3-star soul up here. As you can see, the path has 35,200 points. If you don't get distracted and you just go straight down one of the inside paths, you're going to spend 35,200 points in order to get that 3-star soul. Now, if you convert this into energy based on the 4.5 points, this is going to be 7,822 energy. If you're getting all of that energy from gems, this is over 2,400 gems just to get the 3-star soul. Or if you want to spend all shards, it would be 8 shards. 8 sacred shards is going to get you a little bit, just over 35,000 points. You could actually spend maybe 7 and do a little bit of champion training. You know, you could save that there. You can figure that out. Now, this is actually, I think, a decent price here. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's a little bit expensive. I would have preferred to see this somewhere around like 30,000 points, 31,000 points. But I think this is actually still a decent price. And again, you don't have to do it all with gems, right? You're getting energy every day. I did my video that you get over 1,000 energy per day. So if you're doing that, we have a 4-day window here. It's 3.5 days left when you see this video. But so you could definitely cut into this energy and cut this gem total in half, maybe. You know, or you could pull like 2 sacreds and cut the gem total down quite a bit. So figure out the combination of energy, gems, and sacreds that you're going to need to get your 35,200 points. Now, a 3-star soul is a great soul for a support champion like Lord Fabian, because you get that second blessing bonus, right? The first one, you get a blessing bonus and stats. The second one, you basically just get stats, right? You just get the attack. And then at the 3-star level, that's where you get the second blessing again. So that's a really good level to get to for a support champion. It's not as valuable for a damage dealer. For a damage dealer, you really want to get to the 4-star soul, okay? Now, the 4-star soul here is actually relatively cheap. This point total is the entire total. So it includes the 35,200 points for the 3-star soul. So really, you only need to get about 14.5, 14.7K more points to get the 4-star soul. That's going to be 11,100 energy, or, you can see here 11 sacreds. So 3 more sacreds will get you an additional star on your soul. Now, here's the thing about the 4-star soul. I don't think the 4-star soul is very valuable for Lord Fabian. You want the 3-star soul or the 5-star soul for supports. That's really where you want to be for supports. The 4-star soul gives you crit damage. That's really more valuable for damage dealers. It doesn't give you an additional blessing bonus. So the blessing doesn't get any better. However, there is another consideration, which is if you have a 4-star soul, the shop will not show you the 4-star soul for Fabian, right? If Fabian pops up in the shop, it will be a 5-star split soul. So whatever soul you have, the shop will always show you 1 star higher than the one that you have applied to your champion. So potentially, because this is a relatively cheap additional soul to get, it might be valuable to stretch a little bit and go and get the 4-star soul for some of you, knowing that you can't get the 5-star soul, right? The 5-star soul is very expensive. Let's say you can't get it, but maybe you can still get the 4-star soul, and that's not a bad thing to do because it gives you an opportunity in the shop to see those 5-star souls if you save essences. If you don't save essences, if you don't farm Iron Twins, or, you don't pull a lot of soul stones, then it's probably not worth it to go for the 4-star soul. I'm going to consider it. I haven't done the math on both of my accounts yet. I know on my main account, I'm going to be going for the 5-star soul, but I think on my free-to-play challenge account, I'm probably going to be going for the 3-star soul if I think I can get it. I might not be able to get it, but I'm going to try. All right, so now we go to the 5-star soul. You can see this is 94,550 points. It's a decent total. It's a decent total, pretty high. We've seen higher. This isn't the highest total we've ever seen. It's certainly not the lowest total we've ever seen. But I would say for right now, it's a relatively decent price for the 5-star soul. This is worth 21 sacreds. This is the price point we're seeing. We're seeing about 21 sacreds for 5-star souls in events these days. I would prefer it to be lower than that. I think a 5-star soul is not worth as much as the champion itself. And generally, we'd say like 20 sacreds is a guaranteed champion event. If this were happening during a 2x event or something, the progressives that are happening this weekend are okay, but progressive events really aren't all that exciting, especially if you're a free-to-play player. But yeah, 21 sacreds. So if you have a lot of sacreds, you can certainly go this route, save yourself a lot of time and effort from champion training. Now, I need to do champion training anyway because I've got a whole bunch of missions and stuff for that champion training. I want to 6-star some champions. So if you're doing a lot of champion training anyway, this is a way to double dip on your champion training. So 21,000 energy or 21 sacreds or some combination thereof. And as you can see, almost 6,500 gems in terms of energy. So I don't have that. I just don't have that on my main account. I've got about 2,500 gems, I think. I think on my challenge account, I've got about 1,800 gems. So I just can't do this easily without spending sacreds. I have saved up the sacreds, so I'm likely to do it. But that's the math. That's where we have to decide. We have to do the calculation and say, okay, how many sacreds do I have? How much energy do I have? And what do I need to do to get the soul that I want? So hopefully a lot of you can go and at least get that 3-star soul. It's very valuable on a support. Yes, that 5-star soul is going to give you the additional accuracy and the blessing increase, which is really nice. But again, maybe you can get there through the shop. So I wouldn't give up on the 3-star soul. I think this is a decent price for the 3 and the 4-star soul. The 5-star soul is a bit expensive, but you can make that decision for yourself. I hope this helped you out. Let me know in the comments below. First of all, does this kind of information help you decide whether or not to go for souls, or is it just more confusing? And second, what are you going to do? Are you going to go for the 3-star soul, the 4-star soul, the 5-star soul, or are you going to pass this event and save resources for next month's fusion? That is it for me today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I have been Cole Red. I will see you in another video soon.